Right, quite an unusual item to sell, so doing a quick video. Max Futaba Digimax 5. It's a little dusty, but it's in pretty good condition. I'd say perhaps a little bit of a clean, and it'll be alright. Reason I've got this was I was thinking of converting the unit to 2.4 possibly, but having looked at it, it's in too good a condition really. This the whole purpose of this video is to make sure everything's working. So sticks, love these gimbals, proper old school gimbals, and that is properly sort of metal ball sockets, really, nice and tight. It's, I know some of these old radios, they have channels like that, but I don't think this one does. I think you've got that's your auxiliary channel there, obviously analog trims, and then just the 4 channels giving you the 5. So let's see if everything works charging wise. There's a little red light up there that should kick in. Turn that off for now. Right, got the little plug here, and she plugs in the side there like that, and that gives you a lead to plug for your battery. Obviously wouldn't recommend these days to do that, charge it separately, and then it's just straight off to the 240. Let's see, that's in there, that's in there. That should be charging the transmitter, and then I believe if I plug that in for your flight, that's for your flight pack. I'm including this, by the way. It's a 2600 nickel metal hydride 4.8 volt pack. And yeah, there we go. We have a lovely little red light up there saying everything is charging. So I know that this has got charge in it, so I'm going to turn that off now. Disconnect that, take that out of there, and take it out of the mains. So take the unit back over here. Right, as you can see, I have the receiver. Obviously that's not old school, it's someone's popped that on there to see if the voltage is correct. Probably a wise step if you're looking at using this in an actual flying aircraft. And we've got a mashed on switch here. It looks like they've just used hot glue to make sure everything stays together, but obviously if that's on the outside of an airplane you're not going to notice it, but if you wanted to, I suppose you could clean that up. And we've got the servos. Now, they're all fairly interesting, 4-wire servos and linear as well. Not seeing any, I mean they could use a clean, but not seeing any nasty cracks. They're obviously dirty and got residue on some of them. It looks like sticky tape. So they've even got the grommets on for the most part. Now those two, I've already tested them. I know they work, but leave them to one side. One of them's got a slightly dodgy connector, which means it's a bit of a pain plugging it in. But for the purposes of seeing it working, we've got these 4. Receiver wise, you've got this mad little block that it plugs everything into. Now there's 4 servos that come off of here, and then another servo that comes off like this little extension lead. and the volt spy is plugged into one of these channels here that obviously operates that. So let's plug in some power. So we've got power. Obviously it's not switched on yet. Radio on first, and hopefully you can see that the actual gauge still works, and that's straight to full, or 12 volts, or just over 12 volts. And turn the radio itself on, and we've got a nice green light over here. No jittering from the servos, means if there are pots in it, they're fairly clean. And can operate the transmitter. That is mad, isn't it? I mean, it's obviously, yeah, I would expect a closed loop on every control by the looks of things. It's, none of those lugs are broken, they're all good. Let's say they'll work. Right, let's turn that off. Turn this off. Right. Wear and tear wise, obviously that switch is a bit nasty. There is a slight repair to this aerial, although that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'd probably recommend changing that out anyway. Receiver. I mean, it barely looks like it's ever been used. I imagine it's been just sitting in cotton wool somewhere in an airplane. There's even a bunch of these crystals. Now, this is obviously a bit old school. That does look like 27 meg. So this would be ideal if you're using a ground vehicle. They look like pairs. There's certainly a orange set, a yellow set. Don't know about this set. Oh no, there's a red set and a blue set, and then obviously whatever's in the actual receiver itself. I don't know what's in there. It's a very rough looking case. Right, aerial wise, I'm just going to wind the aerial up. Let's put the camera down. Well, that is old school, but I don't know if you can see that. There's a very slight twist in that aerial, but generally that's about as straight as they come, these old 27 meg aerials. All in all, a good set of gear. I'm not suggesting that anyone should think about trying to use this as it is 27 meg by the looks of things in a flying aircraft, but for anyone that's into vintage or wants a vintage looks for ground vehicle, because obviously it's only legal for ground, or even want to transfer it over to 35 meg or even over to 2.4 if you really want to, I suspect, ruin it. Yeah, there you go. Any comments, feel free to leave them at the bottom. Unit is for sale on eBay at the making of this video, or just shortly afterwards. Just so everyone's clear, you're getting the transmitter, all the servos, the receiver, the block, the volt spy, the rather naff looking switch, and a brand new 4-cell pack along with all the crystals. So that's the whole shebang. You want a vintage ground based aircraft, you're ready to go. Right, thank you very much.